This is Shyam Global Radio in partnership with Timber Media, Podcasters for India Inc.
Welcome to Shyam Global Radio, the podcast where we share insights and analyses on how work, workers, and workplaces are evolving worldwide. I'm your host, Neerja, and today we are talking about one of the most misunderstood tribes in modern business: managers. Okay, first off, let's grant managers one thing. They pull off a fine balancing act every day against heavy odds, but are expected to pretend it was smooth sailing all along. Quite like a duck that appears to float serenely on water when in fact it is paddling away under the surface. That's right, I compared managers to ducks, but I mean well, I promise. Managers, especially middle managers, live between strategy and execution, between leadership vision and frontline chaos. In a world that is reimagining the workplace and the people who run it, managerial roles are being stretched, rewired, and in some cases, reinvented entirely. Let's talk about this global reframe. In 2025, the role of the manager is, how do I put this delicately, splintering into 1,000 cultural versions of leadership. In the US, managers are balancing flexibility with accountability, keeping teams productive without policing presence. In Japan, younger leaders are quietly rewriting the script on hierarchy and lifetime employment, bringing digital-first thinking to a traditionally bound workplace. In India, first-generation managers are running hybrid cross-border teams from a kitchen table in Bangalore to a client boardroom in California. In Europe, the shift is toward trust-based leadership. Scandinavian firms, for instance, have normalized autonomy and consensus, while Southern Europe appears to place great value on the manager's relational role, more mentor than monitor. In the Middle East, the rise of regional headquarters and digital economies is creating a new breed of cosmopolitan managers, professionals who bridge multinational strategy with deeply local work cultures. Across Africa, especially in fast-growing tech hubs like Nairobi and Lagos, managers are improvising. They're blending startup agility with community-led leadership styles that aim for collaboration and shared success. In Latin America, leadership remains deeply personal. Managers are the glue holding teams together through things like empathy, trust, and informal networks that can matter as much as the process. In short, the middle is not a monolith. It's a mosaic of authority, empathy, and adaptation. According to a Gartner survey from 2022, 89% of HR leaders agreed that managers must lead with empathy in hybrid environments, reinforcing that effective, intentional management is central to sustaining engagement. And yet, managers themselves often feel the least equipped. They're expected to be culture keepers, performance coaches, mental health allies, and digital translators all before lunch. I don't want to say imposter syndrome, but you see where I'm going with this. The modern middle manager does not have it easy. The result? The world is quietly realizing that middle management isn't a stopgap. It's a strategic capability. Reimagining it requires cultural fluency and a good dose of organizational humility. So how do we go from command to connection? The old image of the manager, a disciplinarian, clipboard or diary in hand, obsessing over KPIs, is as relevant today as a fax machine. Modern managers are measured by connection more than control. And that connection is no longer an abstract concept. You know exactly what I'm talking about, and you expect a good manager to have those traits, because those traits define workplace cultures. In Singapore, companies are rewriting manager onboarding to focus less on process training and more on cultural mediation, or how to lead across differences without losing direction. In Europe, flatter structures have birthed what some call distributed authority. That means managers as facilitators, not gatekeepers. And in parts of Latin America, where, as we noted earlier, work is deeply relational, companies are formalizing mentorship as a leadership metric, turning empathy into a management KPI. Yeah, sounds like a workplace you could see yourself going to every day, doesn't it? A manager's new job isn't to manage people for the organization, it is to manage meaning within it. This is, after all, the skill renaissance. Now, I know all this sounds ambitious, but the post-COVID vibe shift in workplace culture is real. The 2020s have rewritten the DNA of managerial competence. It's no longer about knowing the business, it's about knowing people, data, and context. Today's middle manager needs to juggle analytics, AI tools, behavioral science, and coaching frameworks while still running a team that actually delivers. But help is at hand. The best organizations are not waiting for this evolution, they are engineering it. It's the professional equivalent of giving your middle layer a Formula One upgrade. Because they're no longer the ones keeping the machine running, they're the ones driving the innovation engine. And that brings us to the culture factor. Now here's the twist. Culture doesn't just shape how managers lead, it defines what leadership even is. In cultures like Indonesia and Mexico, authority is social. Trust travels faster than policy. In Nordic countries, where equality is baked into daily life, managing can almost feel impolite and sometimes downright patronizing. And as global teams become the default, those philosophies now meet daily on Slack, Zoom, and Teams. In such scenarios, HR cannot simply rely on exporting a single playbook anymore, because a few unforced errors here and there can turn gaps into chasms. The new standard is cultural elasticity. Instead of enforcing uniform behaviors, smart organizations empower managers to define what great leadership looks like in their own context, because what works in Copenhagen might not work in Jakarta. And so we come to the emotional frontier. Beyond systems and skill sets lies perhaps the hardest part of the job, the emotional load. Managers today sit in the blast radius of every big shift, from layoffs to AI transitions to culture resets. They're expected to absorb the anxiety in their teams and translate uncertainty into direction. It's emotional labor at scale, and it is redefining resilience not as stoicism, but as emotional fluency. So what does reimagining the great middle really mean? It means redesigning the role, not replacing it, shifting from authority to adaptability. It means honoring cultural diversity not as a variable to manage, but as an advantage to master. Because let's be honest, the middle has always been where the action happens. It's the junction point of vision and reality where work becomes culture. No surprise that managers and their skill sets have become even more crucial as the decade progresses. And organizations, along with HR departments, need to reimagine managerial culture as a real-world skill for middle managers. Otherwise, being a middle manager can sometimes leave one feeling quite stuck, with clowns to the left of them and jokers to the right. The difference now is that the world is finally paying attention. In a global hybrid AI-shaped workplace, it's not the top or the bottom that holds everything together. It's the space between. And that's all I have for you today. It's time for me to sign off. Thanks for listening to SHRM Global Radio with me, Neerja. I'll be back next month with more insights on the evolving world of work. Until then, ciao.
This is SHRM Global Radio in partnership with Timber Media, Podcasters for India, Inc.